Good morning, Wall Street winners. It is Thursday, October 24th, and we have had some great earnings come in both after close yesterday on Wednesday and this morning. That is lifting the markets in the pre-market session here. We're about an hour and 25 minutes from open. The Dow Jones is down, but only mildly, 50 points, 0.12%. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ are both up. The NASDAQ is up almost a full percent, and that is really being driven by the companies that have announced results, and primarily by Tesla. Tesla came out and it just knocked it out of the park. It's up 13% pre-market. It's recorded its best quarterly profit in a while, in multiple quarters. IBM came out with good news, and I believe IBM is down. Lam Research came out with great earnings and a research report, as well as future forecasts, as did RJF, and both of those are up. So I believe out of the four, only IBM is off, and but I do believe the IBM results were positive. So, but Tesla is the rock star in the group, and if we take a look at where we are from a market perspective, let's start at the top in the Yahoo Finance app, and you can see what was going on. We had an off day yesterday. Crude is was up a lot more. It's still up 36 cents today. It's above $71, but that is not helping crude stocks. And the one crude stock that we follow that reports today after earnings is Valero. So we'll be keeping an eye out for Valero and what happens there. We are expecting positive results, certainly not to the extent they were a few years ago when all oil and gas companies were just firing on gas and everything was roses and they had record earnings. To surpass record earnings is tough to do. And with crude being down where it is, around $71 a barrel, it's even harder. So the VIX is down today, which is good. It's coming down. That's a positive. If we scroll through our health and retail, what we're going to see is Costco had a good day yesterday. I'm expecting a bit of a pullback in this, but it's going in the opposite direction of what I've been expecting. It looks like it's up again today and might cross the $900 mark. I'm waiting for it to get into the low to mid 880s to make a purchase there. Walmart had a good day yesterday. It seems to be climbing. I think it's going to have good earnings as well, and those are coming up. So you'll see here earnings are November 19th. So we're about a month out from those, but those are 3 weeks out. We're coming up to those, and I think they'll be positive. The other retailers were hit for the most part yesterday. It looks like Home Depot could make a comeback and get back above the $400 mark. Health, not really much going on there, just kind of fluctuating. We had JB Hunt make a negative move yesterday. It kind of recovered, though. It was much worse towards the later mid-afternoon. You had CNR, which had great results and was up for most of the day, and then it tailed off into a 4-cent loss. So not sure what caused that fizzle out other than the general market decline yesterday. So I do believe we'll see a pop in CNR today, and that should go up to the at least 156, if not 157 range. Then we've got oil, and it was mostly red across the screen yesterday, and it's looking like it's mostly green and recovering across the screen today. Again, results from Valero due out today after hours, and hoping for a bump in Valero. We do think it's a super attractive price at where it is right now, and crude should only go up. We don't see crude sitting down at the $70 mark, although there is not much incentive for the US government to do anything here. They want crude to be lower. So do most Federal Reserves globally, so that it causes inflation to be lower if it's included in their inflation calculation, depending on the collection of items that you look at to determine inflation. If we turn over to tech, tech is looking like it's going to have a very good day. First of the week, really, in terms of very good days. But you've got Micron set to make a bit of a recovery. Palantir doing very well. CrowdStrike down yesterday, not recovering yet as much as it was down yesterday, but an interesting area to be looking at it around the 300s. I think going into earnings, you've got some potential with CrowdStrike there for a positive lift. CRM down in the lower 280s, mid 280s is probably an interesting purchase. Believe that Salesforce is going to have some good numbers this quarter as they did last quarter. Palo Alto was hit hard yesterday and not sure exactly why. So you got earnings in early, call it mid-November, and they were off significantly, and they're recovering only a little bit of that loss yesterday. So that could be an interesting one to pick up on the downslide, because I think the numbers there will be positive as well. Net is getting closer to the 90s, so that stock has been climbing from the high 70s up to the mid to high 80s now. Looks like we could get that stock up into the 90s, and that's 2 weeks out from earnings there. So I do expect that'll be close to 100 within 2 weeks. So I'd keep an eye on that one. Microsoft got up to the 430s and then came off of that. It's in the mid 420s right now. ARM had a horrific day yesterday, and it doesn't look like it's in for a great day today. So that could be based on the Qualcomm news. On is recovering, and with Tesla's numbers being as good as they were, which is something that I was on the fence about, not knowing how they were going to deliver on that. They have had a nice little recovery in the last little while. Looks like it's going to continue today. Should get up to the 70s. This really should be a $90-$95 stock, and they come out with earnings in 4 days. So we'll see what they come out with next week, and hopefully, based on what we're seeing from the automotive manufacturing sector, they're going to do well based on that because it's going to be a consumer of their technology. AMD is above where they were down yesterday, so that's a positive on that side. IBM is down $8.32 in the pre-market, so they're the one that climbed pretty significantly into earnings. And then even with Q3 profit beat, the revenue missed, and I guess that's what's causing that to head to the downside today in the pre-market. So IBM is one of the ones that's off. Lam Research, great results, great future forecast. They're up 6% in the pre-market. I expect them to go higher as the year continues, and I do expect that stock will probably be a $100 stock at the end of this year based on where it's been historically. You can see Tesla here up 29 bucks. So that's a huge success for them with the numbers they came out with, up almost 14% in the pre-market. And then as we continue down, looks like Nvidia is off to a good start. Google had a bad day yesterday as well, just dragged down with the rest of the market. I do anticipate next week this stock is going to take off like a rocket ship with its AI story. If they do come out with a better AI story, because I do think it is strong, they just haven't really talked about it and formalized it to the public. I think this stock has a huge amount of potential. TSM up above 200 again. I think that's a strong buy at that range. And then your finance stock. So finance went down a little bit yesterday with the general market. RJF, Raymond James, had earnings yesterday. They're up $4 in the pre-market. So even with their climb into earnings, they still had a bit of a pop on good earnings and revenue report as well as future forecasts. So that was a recommendation that we made earlier this week. And then the others you can see through the list. So that's where we are today. Keeping an eye out for Valero aftermarket, and good luck with your trades. If you're liking these videos, please hit the like and subscribe.